are touring preschools today. We just moved to Charlotte from the DMV area. I have 3 toddlers that need to be in preschool. They were previously in private schools. I'm touring a Montessori school, and I'm just touring another preschool that's not Montessori, but it's very much like academic play-based. I have a lot of things I look for in a preschool. Number 1, obviously being like their academic structure, how the kids learn. Number 2, being diversity. I'm also looking for like the play versus learning structure, how that works. I am obviously looking for the teacher to student ratio. I am looking for how they help my child learn, like the attention to details is all important to me. A lot of pressure. I want diversity not only in the students, but I also want diversity in leadership. A lot of these preschools are actually franchise based, so every single preschool is owned by someone different, which can suck, especially when you like the preschool. Like there's a preschool I liked in Maryland that I'm looking for here, and I hope it's the same. I hope it's just as good, but it's not always like that. One of these preschools is Spanish Emergent. The other one is also French and Spanish Emergent, which is also a big deal to me. So let's get into it. Before we do all of this, let's go grab ourselves some coffee. I think I found my favorite coffee shop in Charlotte. So can I have a vanilla latte, a large, only 2 pumps of vanilla, whole milk, and no foam. And then you have like a sandwich, like a croissant, sausage, something sandwich.
Sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant?
Yeah, I'll get that as well. This is the first preschool.
And they'll pull from those areas. Now in math, what skills are there? Citizens of the world, social studies, what skills are there. So they'll pull each week some skill, to come up with their lesson plan, okay? Now we're also a literacy-based program, so their lesson plans have to incorporate a book as well.
We just got back from the first school, and here are some pros and cons from the first school. First school is an academy. Pros to the first school, it is very diverse. I like how many diverse teachers they had. I love that the students are very diverse. Another pro is it's pretty close to the house. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Cons to this school, number 1, the teacher to ratio was very high. They had 25 students and 2 teachers. 1 teacher and the other ones were assistant teachers. They didn't seem to have too many requirements for the teachers to really be teachers, so I didn't love that. When I was asking her questions about like what they do in case that the child needs like discipline, they were like, oh, we just put him like in a quiet corner, which cool, but I didn't love that answer either. It was very vague. Another thing I didn't really love about this school was they do forced maps. So I have 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds who are turning 4 and 5. They're in pre-K preparing for kindergarten, and most times, at least back in Maryland, naps were not forced anymore. This school makes them take a 3-hour nap from 12 to 2:30. What am I paying you for? That's absolutely ridiculous. I've never heard of that. I think it was required by the state to take a nap under the age of 4, from what I understand. So it was very strange. She was like everybody takes a nap, and if they don't feel like napping, they sit in quiet, maybe read a book alone for 2.5 hours for a toddler. Absolutely not. And for pricing, this pre-K is about $2,200 a month, which is a pretty decent price for preschool. Yeah, immediately. I'm gonna go. I didn't love that. There was too many red flags for me. Yeah, no. No. But on to the next one. Let's go. Okay, we just got to the second preschool of the day. I only have the 2 appointments, so I really hope this one goes better because the first one was kind of disappointing. I will sum it up when I'm done. Let's go. It's also like a very rainy day today, so
Age group from 3 years old to 6 years old, and so it's a mixed age group. So it's very the nice appeal of it is there's always like a kind of leader. And I'll show you too.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, we'll start with
absolutely.
Nido, just so you can see the base.
Yeah.
But all of our classrooms, because we want to foster independence, everything, as you can see, will be small and tailored to the child's size. Because it's a mixed age group, everyone's on different learning curriculums, right? So in our NIDO program, a 3-month-old won't be doing the same thing a 15-month-old would be doing, right? But there's the materials that we have on the shelf we call work, because work is the play of the child, and so they learn from just using these materials. The teachers in the classroom we call guides, and the guides will give them lessons, and then the children are free to be able to use the materials as they please and just keep practicing and practicing. And then as they progress in that lesson, they will receive more lessons and that kind of thing. So I know they're napping right now, but if you just take a little look, I know it's a lot to see. But for example, here are infants. So it says what ages they are.
So cute.
And as you can see here, the individualized lesson plans from each child. So you can see that everyone's doing something different. So let's say one of our oldest children, Vera, she's 1 year and 4 months. She's working on slicing a banana. She's mostly speaks using simple words, and she's working on stamping, right? Whereas one of our youngest babies right now, let's say maybe Milan, or Finley, 3 months. Finley is doing Korea's greetings and goodbyes. So it's good morning, Finley, goodbye, Finley, storybooks, and bells on a ribbon. So that's just that material. And so the joy of the materials is that everything has a purpose, right? Everything serves a purpose. It's not just there to just pass time. Everything has its own intention. So whether that be like tracking eye movements, or learning how to sit up, or practicing their concentration on watching a mobile just spin around a little bit, everything has a purpose. So if you want to take a look, you can here.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have little floor mats for the babies. So that they can rest on there. Everything is tiny, the shelves are small.
It's so cute.
It is. Here's one of our toddler classrooms. So we do have Spanish immersion programs here. We have one Spanish immersion toddler, and we have 2 Spanish immersion children's house. If that's something that you're interested in. I know you said that you're a family of a lot of languages.
Yeah, we speak French, yeah.
I will say how old they are. The difference for this one is that, well, this specific guide, she has it into groups, but usually it's divided into each child. So it tells you what each child is working on. And we have a website or app, it's called Transparent Classroom, to be able to show you what they're working on. It'll have pictures of the children working, and it'll be tagged with what they're working with. So if you see maybe Ezekiel's working on the pink towers, well, what does that really mean? What does that really do? You click on the link and it'll show you what the purpose of it is, what it serves, what lessons follow that, and what lessons preceded that, what's the purpose,
How many kids do you guys have in each classroom?
So for our children, for our toddlers, we can have up to 12 children, and that is one child. I'm sorry. That's one teacher for every 6 children.
Gotcha.
But in our toddler classrooms, we can have up to 12.
Okay.
With our youngest being 1.5 years.
Right.
And then for our children's house, guides to be trained in Montessori, teaches kind of like exponents in a way. So the children will start off by receiving this lesson and just start with 1, right, or 2. So they'll be given the lesson. Here's 2 cubed, 2, and then this is like the 2 by 2. So this is 4. But the way they use this material is they have a rug and they have the numbers and they count them and then they tag them. So they see, okay, well, if I'm doing the 2 one, here's 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as they progress and as they start to really take interest, they'll go up to the huge ones, and these are big ones. As you can see, here's some more math material. And it is something that the children receive lessons on. Right now, to you and me, some of this might seem foreign. We'd have to receive a lesson on it to be able to use it properly.
Probably.
Here's some more activities. So this one wouldn't be math or really reading. It would be more of like, how do you say it? It'd be more of like, not matching, but I guess like language building too. Yes.
Probably, yeah.
So this all goes together, and it is a lesson that gets presented. Sometimes they'll do group lessons. And back to your question about the circle, but we do have circle times for transitions. Sometimes they read books, and they have little like dance party if it's raining outside, that kind of thing. As we progress, you'll start to see more material that's more academic based, right? And so here's some songs. Here's some of our literature things. So the children always learn how to they learn their alphabets phonetically. So it'll be like ah, the, k, and they'll start out with the vowels. And as you can see, these are cursive. So the reason that is we found that it's a lot easier for them to be able to get to writing if they can feel the fluidity of it. So if you want to feel, these are sandpaper letters, and the way they are presented is the guide will bring them to a lesson, and they'll say like ah, and then they'll trace it while the children watch like this, and they'll have the children trace it. And so as the child starts to learn the association of the shape and the sound, once they start working on their writing, they'll be able to like know what direction, you know. I think it's pretty neat. And then these, you can't see them, but they're more letters. Here we have some more material, some more material. This is now getting into what we call the practical life. Right, so we have things such as, you know, this would be for pouring, and you see that everyone has their little apron. Everywhere comes with a little table cover and that kind of thing. This is some more practical life, flower arranging. So they're given the lesson.
I love that. My daughters love arranging flowers.
Yeah.
It's like one of our favorite things to do together.
So it's beautiful, and they get the lesson. They put on their smock. They cut the flowers, put it in, choose a beautiful little pitcher, pour in the water, take a dolly, and make the classroom beautiful.
I love it.
Here's some more fine motor skills, so things that they do to better work their accuracy.
Yeah.
Right? So these are the cots that
Right,
children
right.
rest on.
Listen, if no one has told you this before, with these preschools, honey, you get what you paid for. Okay, this second preschool was a Montessori school, and this is a preschool I'm very familiar with. Yes, things I love about this preschool. First of all, the teacher to student ratio is incredible. This preschool also goes all the way up to elementary, so it's a private school that like emerges into like an elementary private school, which I love that option. It's a Spanish immersion school. I am more into French immersion, but I love that they have that option. The teachers have to be 2 years certified in Montessori, which is incredible, okay? The classrooms are so much bigger, they're brighter. If you guys got a glimpse of the lesson planning, absolutely, yes, 100%. Not only are the vibes immaculate, that diversity. They had a very, very diverse set of leadership. The principal is Black. Yeah, that's a win. The vice principal was Hispanic. Like, I mean, the diversity in that school was immaculate. I saw a little bit of the students, loved it. Child. Also, yeah, they don't force them to take naps. However, when it comes down to the tuition at this preschool is about $3,000 a month. All the preschools require a month deposit. The application fee is like $400 plus another $1,500. So it's about $2,000 deposit, and then the tuition is about $2,800 a month. So, like I said, you get what you paid for with these schools. Listen, I have 3 toddlers. I can't say that I'm set on this preschool, but I obviously have to go home, talk to my husband about the preschools so we can go over pros and cons. I can 100% say that I'm not going to go with the first one. That's just not happening. The whole nap thing really threw me off. We have a lot to think about. But anyways, let me know, what do you guys look for when you're looking for preschools? Like, what are some of your non-negotiables? So we're back home. Hi, Baba. We have not quite decided what school we want to go with yet, but we have 100% decided it's not going to be the first one for many reasons, like I stated earlier. But
yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to force him. I know, I hear him. I couldn't imagine trying to force him to take a nap. Like, he would just be crying the whole time.
Yeah, and like that's the point of bringing him. If we're paying for the full day, and the half of the day he's asleep.
Right. I mean, if it was half the day, I would just pay for half the day.
Yeah.
Like, I would just pick him up at 12 o'clock if he's going to take a 2.5 hour nap.
Like if he took a nap at home,
1 o'clock.
we wouldn't be paying for him to be in school. It just don't add up. It's a little obnoxious, but I don't know. I really don't know. I still have 2 more preschools I'm going to tour. These other 2 preschools are all Montessori's, and these other preschools I'm mainly looking out for the younger kids in our home. So I don't know, wish me luck, and we will see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, all the good stuff, and find us in all the other apps, and I will see you guys later.